Meeting places. The place to be now is here on Anglia, where Michael Aspel presents the 500th edition of This Is Your Life.
This is Your Life, the 500th for Thames Television, and we're going to have a bumper extended edition. Now, the master of mirth, whose name is on this book, is at this moment approaching another London theatre. Now, he's an entertainer who likes to surround himself with long-legged girls with feathers, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The girls and I are going to leave here, but you will be able to watch our progress on the big monitors over here, and then we'll see our surprise take place, if indeed it does. So, girls, you ready? Take me away from all this, please. It's exactly 25 years since the gentleman in question had a 42-week run here at the London Palladium. And he's due here today for a meeting about a rerun in September. Right, keep watching back at our theatre because he's on his way. Now, girls, would you like to take your positions? Hide away. Off you go. And I'll do the same.
I'm sorry, I know we've hijacked you on your way to
No, we got lunch, I know.
Very important. I wanted to show you something rather important. Come over and just have a quick look at this. I think you'll find it quite a strong image.
It does look nice, doesn't it? Yeah. It's also a beautiful day for me to say, Ken Dodd.
Oh,
tonight,
no.
This is your life.
How discomnoccurating.
I hoped you'd say that.
Oh, no.
Yes. We have a...
Oh, yes.
Curtain up at the Royalty Theatre, in fact.
Dear, do you know my shirt's going up and down my back like a rollerblind?
We've got you at last. This way, Ken.
Oh.
Well, I think you've discomnoccurated a few ladies in the audience there, Ken. And you are obviously the same to see all these friends and family, including your musical director for the last 30 years, Stan Clark, up there, in the distinguished company of the Doddy This Philharmonic Orchestra. Now, what happened to that young lady you were with? Well, she is still, on a rare evening off from the jam-butty minds of Doddy This, your fiancée, Anne Jones. Now, Anne, you used to be a personnel officer, didn't you? Now you work with Ken.
Yes. Yes, it was really... I used to work 9 to 5, and now it's 9 to 5, but finish at 5 in the morning.
Oh. Well, it's a hard life. Well... Ken Dodd, this
Working?
is... Yes, yes.
Doing the VAT. I thought this was it. We haven't done this quarter yet.
Well, Ken Dodd, this is your life. You were born on November the 8th, 1927, son of a coal merchant in Liverpool's Knotty Ash. But your comedy-loving father, Arthur, encouraged by your mother, Sarah, certainly fueled your love of laughter.
You can be tickled any way you like now, ladies. You can be tickled any way you like, thanks to a new post office service called Intertickle. You come and knock on the front door and you shoot down the lobby, or foyer if you live in Harrogate. Open the front door, the telegram boy will be standing there with a huge tickling stick. He'll say, Charlie Allison sent this, love. Happy birthday. Wish you were here. Stop. Wish I was there. Don't stop. Rubbish. Get out.
Well, all that began with a Punch and Judy set your parents gave you for your 8th birthday. You put on coal yard concerts for neighbourhood pals. Thus encouraged, at the age of 11, you try your hand at something more ambitious. The hand was up the back of a ventriloquist doll.
Yeah.
Cocklick ear, Charlie Brown is here.
And not only Charlie Brown, but your older brother Billy and younger sister June. Billy, will you tell us about Charlie Brown?
Well, Charlie Brown, my father bought Charlie Brown when Ken was 9 years old. And he did his first professional show at the village hall in Knotty Ash, which he was paid the princely amount of 1 shilling, I believe.
Yes. I've still got it.
Well, June, did your parents encourage Billy and you, as well as Ken, as performers?
Yes, my father used to arrange little concerts on a Sunday morning for us. And Ken and Bill would give their impression of Flanagan and Allen. And I would do a little tap dance.
Like what?
Like
Give us a
Right.
first. Hey! Thank you, June and Billy Dodd. Now, Ken, I believe your dad was still coming up with comedy ideas right up until his death 10 years ago.
Very, very funny man, my dad. Yes, the funniest man I ever knew.
Well, the man who bought you your ventriloquist doll must have been proud indeed when in later years you shared the stage with some of the best ventriloquists in the business. And representing them here tonight are Albert Sabine and Daisy May and John Bouchier and Ada. Albert, Ken may remember the days when Daisy May was a fella.
Yes, actually, I've told several people from time to time, but Daisy May, as you will remember, was the first sex change in the ventriloquist film. Is that right?
Really?
Yes, I was.
And Daisy May, I made you from a little boy to a little girl.
That's right, Ken.
That's the unkindest cut of all.
Didn't see the lips move. Thank you, gentlemen. But now back to the days when Doddy was Diddy. Dusting off the memory now, someone who was a great influence on you, your teacher at St. John's, now a remarkable 90 years old, Miss Mariana Sefton.
Hello, Ken. I could see you were going to be something wonderful, something different from other people. Now I'm older than some of your jokes, which I do love your digging. Have a lovely evening, Ken. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you, Miss Sefton. Now, June, she mentioned the Diddy men there. Is it true that a real-life member of the family inspired their creation?
Yes, our great-uncle Jack, who was small in stature but had a wonderful personality.
I think I hear a discreet musical cue.
a bash. We're full of diddy joy. We make a gay and diddy noise. We are the diddy men who come from Monty Ash. Diddy socks and diddy shoes, diddy hat, diddy true. Around the diddy city, we sing our diddy ditty. We are the diddy men, diddy men. We are the diddy men who come from Monty Ash. Sure, here's Mick the Marmalizer. He's 2'7" tall. And with his 6-inch shillelagh, sure he marmalades you all. Here's Evan from the valley. He's travelled very far. So for all the diddy Welshmen, here's a diddy yachidar. We are the diddy men, Monty's Dotty diddy men. We are the diddy men who come from Monty Ash. From Invercocky-Leaky, we Hamish, that's his name. He's only got a diddy sporran, but he'll wiggle it just the same. Here's Nigel Thompson with Smokies, the cream of the elite. Just follow him and you'll see his diddy country seat. We are the diddy men, Monty's diddy men. We are the diddy men who come from Monty Ash. Our diddy hearts are dutiful, our tummies are jumbutiful. In accents many and various, we're feeling tatty hilarious. Merry and gay, wherever we are. A diddy fillet, a diddy fillah. Oh, we are the diddy men, so let the cymbals clash. The diddy men from Monty Ash. Whoopee! Fantastic!
Thanks very much to the Diddies. Right, back to your story, Ken.
All from the Russell Leet School at Manchester.
Well said, sir.
The Russell Leet Theatre School.
Well, now, age 13, the now escalating Diddy Dodd has continuing success as a ventriloquist in local concerts. Then comes an incident which is to change the face of British comedy. It certainly changed your face, Ken. You went over the handlebars on your bike, rearranging the front gnashers. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, I thought I could ride a bike with my eyes shut, and you can, for about 6 feet. And then, but it worked out very well. I can say all sorts of things like I'm the only one in our house who can eat a tomato through a tennis racket. I can kiss a girl and nibble her ear at the same time. And my mother used to use me for crimping the pastry.
Well, someone running a Liverpool roadshow sees this as an outstanding attribute.
Forget the ventriloquist doll. Now is the time to get your teeth into some real stand-up comedy.
She invited you to join the Hilda Fallon Roadshow. It's Hilda herself.
No.
So, Hilda, obviously he preferred your advice to the dentist.
Well, he was very nervous at first. Very nervous. But he plucked the courage up and he did his first performance in comedy on the Broadway Club in Liverpool.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes,
and he was Mr. Chuckabutty.
Yes.
Mr. Chuckabutty. And brought on my sister.
With a resounding introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the Metropolitan Opera House, Bootle, Miss Nellie Cloggett.
And here is the lovely Nellie, Hilda's sister Maisie. Thank you, Maisie and Hilda Fallon. You decide to set up in business for yourself as a door-to-door salesman of household goods. And we hear now from your former youthful assistant, Alan Shields.
How tickled I am, Ken. No wonder. You remember we sold these first dusters? The tickling sticks? Ah, it's Gladys Evans, one of our best customers.
It certainly is, and I remember, Ken, when you would say, would you like some chamber music, missus? And put the pot on your head.
Who's that kid on the wall over there? Looks familiar.
Remember when you used to come to our house years ago, eh? With 2 bottles of bleach and a bottle of Aunt Sally. Us school kids used to run after the van and pinch the corks off the top of the bottles to make fishing floats. You used to stop the van and run after us, shouting, "Come back, I'll marmalise you." Hey, you might be the squire of Notty Ash, but to me, you're the king, and long may you reign. Have a good night. I'm going now. I'm going to get a lift down to London. See ya.
Well, they've arrived, and to prove it, they are here. Alan Shields, Gladys Evans, and Stan Boardman. Now, 1954, you make the decision to say goodbye to the travelling hardware and get down to the hard work of being a travelling comic. It was also the start of 35 colourful years with showbiz agent Dave Forrester, who died in 1988. On September the 20th, 1954, you make your variety debut on the stage of the Empire Theatre, Nottingham. By Friday, nobody reckons they've been robbed. So Ken Dodd's in business, billed as Professor Yaffle Chuckabutty, operatic tenor and sausage knotter, rapidly going from this to this. But in between, we find you still climbing the bill at Coventry Hippodrome.
I've got one for you, little lad. Have you heard this one?
He was topping the bill, Jimmy Jewell. Well, you obviously still think a lot of the young fellow you gave these gags to.
That's right. Tell them about the three-legged chicken.
Jewel and Morris were top of the bill at the Coventry Hippodrome in the birthday show, and I was down here, right down at the bottom, and each night I used to come into the theatre, and Jimmy'd say, "Doddy, come in here. I've got a new one. I've got a new joke for you." He'd give me all the jokes to go on and try and do my best to steal the show from Jewel and Morris.
It's nice to see you've done it. And good luck to you, son. Give us a fiver.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy Jewell. Blackpool beckons, and for 4 seasons, you're the main pillar of the Central Piers pillar. It's a towering triumph, which sees you next to Blackpool's massive 3,000-seater opera house. It must have been heard in Leeds, where the BBC's Northern Variety chief, Barney Colahan, books you for the good old days.
2, 3, come you back. 5, can't you hear? Pineapple is shocking from Rhinecone to Galway Bay. On the road to Mangalay, where the flying fish angels play, and the wind blows up like thunder out from China across the bay.
Now, in the late 50s, you send out the first of many waves of laughter with your own radio show.
Been to France? Have I been to France? Of course I have, of course. I always stop there for a pint on my way to Switzerland. I nearly married a French girl. She was a dancer in the Moulin Rouge. Yes, there was only one thing put me off. She was 16 stone.
Dancer, 16 stone.
Yes, you know those girls who can? Yeah. Well, she was the one who couldn't.
Well, familiar voices and familiar faces over there from those shows. Little wonder, with the ever-increasing popularity of your radio shows, the phone rings, offering you the chance of your own television show.
Oh, look at this.
Right, you all, sir. Bring it out then. Come and have your trial run. There you are, sir. Oh, yes. Very nice. Just flex your legs a bit. Oh, yes. Nice and model, isn't it? Very nice indeed. And they come in different colours. Come there. Take it out for a test run. Right. Right, hand down. Right hand down.
Well, you tagged him Diddy David, and here, hopefully with his trousers on, is David Hamilton. David, how did you become a Doddy Diddy?
Actually, we were doing a series called Doddy's Music Box, and while we were doing the rehearsals, Ken called me Diddy David, and everybody started laughing. Yes. And he came over to me after the show and said, do you mind me calling you that? Because if you do, I won't do it anymore. But if you don't mind, you said, I think it'll stick. Yes. Well, it certainly has stuck, because it's 23 years ago. Great to see you again.
Thank you, David Hamilton. Now, another Ken Dodd regular of more than 20 years ago came to you one day to tell you she'd been given a golden opportunity, but she was under contract to your show.
Oh, and Ken, you'd no hesitation in letting me go and grab my chance.
And that chance was to join the cast of Coronation Street, Television Actress of the Year, Barbara Knox. So, Barbara, Ken was helpful when opportunity knocked for you.
Yes, he most certainly was. And it couldn't have been easy for him, because we were at the end of a long television series with 1 week left to go, which meant if Ken released me from my contract, he'd have to find another actress just for 1 week to do the sketches. So I was dreading telling him. However, when he was told, he didn't say a word. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. He said nout all day. It was very worrying. And that night, while the audience was still laughing and applauding, he just looked at me and said, "Don't you let me down in Coronation Street, lady."
You certainly haven't.
Well, I hope I haven't, Ken.
You certainly haven't.
Well, away from the television cameras, Ken, you continue to flourish in front of your beloved variety stage footlights. 1965, and your first Royal Variety performance. And that meeting leads to a request for a private performance at Windsor Castle. That's the year of your record-breaking 42 weeks at the London Palladium. And for a grand finale, the Variety Club votes you Show Business Personality of the Year. What's more, you become the favourite of Prime Ministers. What a way to celebrate your first 10 years in the business. Years in which you so often shared the stage with a certain policewoman, P.C. Rosie.
Calling all bikes, calling all bikes.
Well, she sung better lyrics. It's Rosemary Squires.
All right. Evening all. Evening all. That's right. Evening all. That's right.
Where's the ratchet?
Oh, yes.
Where's the ratchet, Tim? Right. Right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
PC falls down in half.
Yeah, that's right. Fine, yeah, you look variety. Lovely.
Well, audiences reckon your Professor Chuckabutty is the best thing since sliced bread. What is more, the ex-choir boy from Knotty Ash becomes a swinging 60s pop star.
Once more, 2 tears of happiness. Let's forgive and forget. Turn our tears of regret. Once more, 2 tears of happiness.
Happiness, the greatest gift that we possess. I thank the Lord that I'm blessed with more than my share of happiness. I've got more than my share of happiness.
Norman Newell. That's Mr. Norman Newell who produced all those records, and thank you very much, Norman. God bless you.
One night, in the middle of his act at a Blackpool theatre, you catch the top of the bill in the middle of his semi-quaver.
And by Jove, how tickled I am to get me home back tonight. Oh.
The man daring a Doddy impression, Vince Hill. Vince, tell us about this unscheduled appearance on your show.
When I was at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, he was at the Opera House, and he timed it perfectly, didn't you? I don't know how you did it, but it was like a version of This Is Your Life. He hid in the telephone kiosk until I got on to do the impression, and there I was.
What did you do? Go on.
Suddenly...
How did you do it?
Do you want to know? Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Well, I used to wear a wig in those days, you
yes,
see.
yes, no, it's
I used to get the orchestra to play la-da-da-da-da-da-dee, you see, then I go off, pull the shirt out, put the wig on, see, get the hair like a bit like this. I don't know if I can do it now, but... By Jove! By Jove! This is... By Jove!
I've got a hole in my trousers. I have to get the wardrobe mister to look into it. Oh, no. Can you hear me up the back? Well, it's a funny place to have your ears. No, chuck it.
And all of a sudden, there he was, on the other side of the stage. The audience broke up, just the way they have now.
And I went in. And I dashed on and I said, Edelweiss, Edelweiss.
But I tell you something, I'm tickled to have turned the tables on him. I am.
So I see. And Ken, you don't know this, but Vince has brought along a backing group that you both know well, the Mike Sam Singers.
I think you might know these.
Okay, Vince, what is it going to be?
Well, I talked to Stan up there, Ken's MD, and we thought we might all get together with Tears. Would you care to join us, Ken?
Well.
Eh? Would you? He will, won't he?
Come on.
I'll have to start it, I think.
Cue cards.
Cheers for souvenirs are all you left me.
Just in case, do the actions.
Memories of a love you've never met. I just can't believe you could forget me.
After all the happy hours we spent.
After all those happy hours we spent
Together.
Tears have been my only consolation. But tears can't mend a broken heart, I must confess. Let's forgive and forget. Turn our tears of regret once more to tears of
Well, no tears, only smiles when you topped the charts for 6 weeks with that number. That same summer, 1968, you flew into Liverpool Airport from a cabaret engagement in the Isle of Man and bumped into someone to whom you offered some friendly advice.
Well, I used to be a loudmouth, non-stop talking, wisecracking, overbearing slob.
no.
But after your advice, thank heavens now I'm known as the Listening Frank. And the third funniest comedian in Britain.
I don't know if you recognize that voice. It is Frank Carson.